we break your back. 8, 5, we break your back.
On a stage in Springfield, Missouri, college students rehearse step dancing. This dancing is known simply as steppin.
Stepping is basically making a rhythm with your hands and your feet, using your own body parts to have a rhythm, like music kind of, but you're just doing it with your body.
For almost a century, African American sororities and fraternities across America have put together step dancing shows. It is a ritual they say dates back to the days of slavery, and before that, their roots in Africa.
Stepping was always brought up through the tribes in Africa.
Mainly among the tribal areas, and they used to get out and dance with each other, and as a way of having fun. It just kind of came over here.
Fraternity started picking up on it and incorporating their own little style, own little routines to stepping in honor of their African American heritage.
5, 6, 7, 8.
Black sororities and fraternities pass down these intricate moves from generation to generation. During the era of segregation on campuses years ago, when black students were prohibited from taking part in many college activities, step dancing filled a void in black student life. Steppin was uniquely their thing, and African American fraternities and sororities began competing among themselves to be the best step dancers. Now, every school year, they spend long hours learning the old steps and making up new ones. It's a lot of work.
A lot of work, a lot of dedication. We pretty much practice every day, 2 hours at the least. Most of the time we, go past 2 hours.
And it's a lot of work. I mean, a lot of individual work. Like even when we weren't rehearsing, at my job or when I'm home, when I'd be in my apartment, I'd be stepping everywhere. Every time I'd be walking somewhere, I'd be going over the steps. So it's a lot of work.
When I was a little kid, I used to watch the step shows back home in Carolina. We used to go over to Augusta, Georgia, and it was like a big competition thing among the fraternities and sororities there. But I never thought I would actually join a fraternity and actually compete in one.
It's pretty much whatever comes to your head.
Weeks of practice, then one last afternoon of rehearsal, followed by the contest that night. They take turns taking the stage. Some go over their routines while waiting. It was the very first time for this fraternity. Iota Phi Theta of Southwest Missouri State University had never tried step dancing.
It's been rough. It's hard work. You lose sleep over it sometimes. You think about it so much.
In just 2 months, they learned all the traditional steps handed down from their frat brothers decades ago. But Iota Phi Theta decided to spice up their show.
Human jump rope. That was something that I tried my hardest not to do.
Christopher Taylor would become the human jump rope.
It started off rough, getting the arms and how we was gonna do it and everything. And we had a couple collisions and different things, and I've hit the ground, but we got it perfected, and now it's do it just like that.
Then they rehearsed an even more dangerous routine as part of their show to please the crowd.
Butcher knives.
Start cutting.
Someone came up with the idea of knives, And the first thought about that is I'm not finna get cut by no knife. So what we did was for about a month, we just practiced with just our hands, just swinging over each other's heads.
Ain't nobody bleed. Start chopping then.
We started off slow, trust me. We started out real slow before we sped it up.
That night, people arrive for the step dancing contest.
One child and then myself.
How fast can y'all do the lights?
Several hundred people show up, many friends and family, plus people who'd heard about Steppin. The judges waited on the front row. They would award a top prize of $1,000. This stepping competition is among a couple of dozen held each year nationwide. The Steppin show gets underway. College students from 4 states compete. In the darkness beyond the stage lights, the audience cheers on their favorites. Remember, these are college students, not professional dancers. For many, this was their first time ever to dance on stage.
The crowd is about 100% of the whole thing, because if the crowd's not yelling at you, you're doing something wrong. The crowd is yelling, the girls are all screaming. I mean, it builds up your energy because you know you're doing something right. If people aren't yelling, then it's not coming out good, and we're not doing it for ourselves. We're doing it to, please the crowd.
Hearing the crowd at the step show is a big boost. I mean, like when you hear people like actually cheering for you, it's like, okay, we're doing fine evidently, so we can just add a little bit more energy to it. And
the men of Iota Phi Theta prepare to take the stage.
Never scared.
They'd be the last group to perform, but felt confident.
It's butterflies in the other people's stomachs, though, because they know we got to go last.
Once they heard we were stepping, they was like, oh my God.
The judges waited for the last group. Iota Phi Theta. Over 2 months of rehearsal, learning steps and routines handed down from tribes in Africa, from slaves in America, from black fraternities during the era of segregation. It all came down to a few moments on stage in front of the judges and the audience.
I just didn't know what to expect. To me, everybody's show was good that night. I mean, I saw a lot of creativity.
Their human jump rope trick put the crowd on its feet. Then came the knife trick.
Start cut! Start chopping then!
Somehow, some way, we actually came out on top.
And the next thing I knew, I was on the stage jumping and screaming and hollering. It was intense. It was an intense feeling. I mean, all of us, when I just looked around, and I mean, everybody had big smiles. It looked like we were 3 years old and we got that shiny red bike for Christmas.
We won this, boy!
Even as the audience filed out, the winners could not keep from strutting in celebration.
And so it's just like, you win, you go out there and you let them know you won.
But one thing my father's always told me is there's no shortcuts in life, and we didn't take any shortcuts, we work hard.
I said I would never do it again, but now I see the reward for all the hard work, and I'm pretty sure I'll do it again.
In Springfield, Missouri, this is Ed Fillmer reporting.